Beyoncé and Jay-Z thought they were untouchable, but the empire is officially burning to the ground. For decades, they sat on a throne built on secrets and silence, while the rest of the industry stayed quiet out of fear. But that fear ended the moment Jason Lee hit the record button and showed the world the receipts that nobody was supposed to see. This isn't just another rumor or a piece of blind gossip from a faceless source. This is the moment the darkest secret in music history was exposed live on camera for millions to witness. The truth is finally out, and the forensic evidence shows that the Carters have been running a shadow operation that is finally catching up to them. Jason Lee did not come to play when he started his broadcast, and the documents he held up were devastating for the Carter brand. He revealed a series of leaked emails and internal memos from the highest levels of their management team that prove a pattern of systemic manipulation. The receipts show that they weren't just making music and selling tours, they were actively working to destroy the careers of anyone who refused to sign away their rights to the Carter name. The paperwork proves that they used a network of shell companies based in offshore accounts to hide hundreds of millions of dollars from their own business partners. This was a calculated and cold-blooded scheme to maintain total control over the entire industry. But the real explosion happened when Nicki Minaj joined the conversation and decided to burn the whole bridge down. Nicki has been hinting at the industry games for years, but this time she brought the actual evidence to the screen. She showed text messages and recorded calls that prove Jay-Z was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes to keep certain artists from getting major brand deals. The truth is that he was using his leverage with global corporations to make sure nobody could compete with the Carter dynasty. Nicki was visibly done with the lies, and her testimony on camera has completely stripped away the image of the Carters as supportive mentors. She revealed that the support was always a front for a much darker contract that required total submission. The financial fallout from this exposure has been immediate, and it is absolutely catastrophic. The receipts show that a massive $400 million partnership with a global luxury brand was terminated within hours of the live broadcast. The brand executives realized that the public image of Beyoncé and Jay-Z was a complete fabrication, and they didn't want their name attached to the sinking ship. This wasn't a mutual separation or a planned exit. This was a total career meltdown that is costing them hundreds of millions of dollars in real time. The contract proves that there were specific morality clauses that the couple violated by engaging in these deceptive business practices. People are also looking back at Wendy Williams and realizing that she was the hero of this story all along. For years, people called her crazy or said she was reaching, but the resurfaced footage proves she was right about everything. Wendy spent years warning the public that the Carters were not who they claimed to be in their carefully polished PR statements. She spoke about the hidden legal battles and the way they treated their employees behind closed doors. Now that the hard evidence is public, everyone can see that Wendy was just ahead of her time. She was trying to warn the world about the very same secrets that Jason Lee and Nicki Minaj just exposed live on camera. The forensic analysis of their business model shows a level of greed that is honestly hard to process. The documents show that they were using a complex system of double booking and inflated streaming numbers to trick investors into thinking their projects were more successful than they actually were. This is a massive legal nightmare that is going to lead to years of litigation and potentially federal charges. The truth is that the couple was using their influence to pressure streaming platforms into manipulating the charts. The evidence shows a clear trail of digital breadcrumbs that prove the numbers were faked to keep the Carter brand at the top of the food chain. The internal meltdown is also visible in the way their team is reacting to the crisis. Former assistants and bodyguards are now coming forward because the NDAs they signed are no longer enforceable under the new legal scrutiny. One former associate revealed that the couple was obsessed with maintaining a perfect image even while their business deals were falling apart. They were using aggressive legal tactics to silence anyone who saw the truth. But now that the first brick has been pulled from the wall, the entire structure is coming down. The receipts show that they spent millions of dollars every year just on legal fees to keep these secrets from leaking to the press. What makes this even more shocking is the specific evidence regarding the exploitation of younger artists. The contracts that were leaked show that Jay-Z was signing talent to deals that were essentially modern-day indentured servitude. The artists would get the fame and the luxury lifestyle on the surface, but behind the scenes, they owned nothing. The paperwork proved that the Carters were taking a massive percentage of every single dollar those artists earned through a web of management and production fees. It was a predatory system designed to keep the artists broke and dependent while the Carters got richer off their hard work. The live exposure has triggered a wave of investigations that are now looking into their various charities and foundations. The forensic audit suggests that a significant portion of the money donated to these causes was actually being funneled back into their own private interests. This is the ultimate betrayal of their fans, who believed they were supporting a good cause. The receipts show that the overhead costs for these charities were being used to fund the couple's private travel and security details. The truth is that the charity work was just another layer of the PR machine used to distract from the darker reality of their business empire. Nicki Minaj didn't stop at just exposing the business side of things. She also detailed the psychological warfare that was used to keep people in line. She describes a culture of fear, where questioning the Carters was seen as career suicide. The truth is that they had agents and insiders in every major media outlet ready to plant negative stories about anyone who tried to speak out. This was a total control of the narrative that lasted for over 20 years. But the live broadcast by Jason Lee proved they no longer have that power. The world is watching the meltdown in real time, and there's nothing the Carter legal team can do to stop the flood of truth. The legal experts are already weighing in on the potential jail time that could come from these financial crimes. The forensic evidence of tax evasion and money laundering through these shell companies is overwhelming. The receipts show that they were reporting losses on their taxes while moving hundreds of millions of dollars through private accounts in the Cayman Islands. This is the level of criminal activity that goes way beyond simple industry drama. This is the systematic looting of the music industry by two people who thought they were above the law. The truth is finally out, and the consequences are going to be severe. Even the most loyal fans are starting to turn their backs as the evidence becomes impossible to ignore. People are realizing that the power couple image was just a product they were being sold to keep the money flowing. The contracts prove that their entire public relationship was managed by a team of brand consultants to maximize profit. Every public appearance and every social media post was a calculated move to keep the stock price of the Carter brand high. But now that the public knows the truth, the stock is crashing and the brand is becoming toxic. Nobody wants to be associated with a couple that built their fortune on the backs of exploited artists and faked numbers. The witness statements that are being prepared for court are described as absolutely explosive. Former high-level executives are ready to testify that they were instructed to delete emails and destroy documents that showed the true nature of the couple's finances. This is a clear case of obstruction of justice that is going to make the legal battle even more dangerous for Beyoncé and Jay-Z. The receipts show that they were aware of the investigations for months and tried to pay off witnesses to keep them quiet. But the money wasn't enough to stop the truth from coming out once the first whistleblowers stepped into the light. The scenes of the meltdown inside their private offices are being described as chaotic. Reports from people on the ground say that the couple is arguing with their lawyers and trying to find someone to blame for the leak. But there is nobody left to blame but themselves. They were the ones who signed the contracts, and they were the ones who authorized the illegal business practices. The truth is that they got too comfortable and thought they could never be caught. They underestimated the bravery of people like Jason Lee and Nicki Minaj, who were willing to risk everything to expose the corruption at the top. The fallout is hitting their international business interests also. Deals in Europe and Asia are being canceled as the news of the financial forensic report goes global. The receipts show that their partners in these regions are invoking clauses that allow them to distance themselves from any criminal activity. The Carter empire is shrinking by the hour, and the wealth they spent 30 years building is vanishing into legal fees and settlements. This is the total destruction of a legacy that was once thought to be the greatest in entertainment history. The truth is that it was all a house of cards, and Jason Lee just blew it down. As the legal walls close in, the couple is becoming more and more isolated. Many of their celebrity friends have gone silent and are refusing to answer calls. They don't want to be caught in the crossfire of the biggest legal scandal to ever hit the music industry. The truth is that everyone knew something was wrong, but nobody wanted to be the first to say it. Now that the door is open, everyone is running for the exits. The receipts show a massive exodus of staff and partners who are trying to save their own reputations before the final hammer falls. The final nail in the coffin was the proof that they were using their power to silence victims of misconduct within their own companies. The documents show that they paid out millions of dollars in hush money to keep people from going to the police. This is the most disgusting part of the entire exposure, and it is what has turned the public against them for good.